Ooh, FaZe Sensei here, back with another video. First, I want to thank you guys so much. The love on the recent videos has been amazing. It's inspired me to start creating content. I even started shadow boxing again, started training. Everyone boxing, everyone's looking so good. Jake looked good with his technique. Logan's fighting Floyd. I know JJ's getting hyped about it, so I'm just super hyped. I think it's a great time for YouTube, at least in my genre. Other thing, I never usually do this, but I can't really think of what to do right now. But what I will say is I've been like on the edge of like 800,000 subscribers. What do I need to do to get to 1 mil? Help me get to 1 mil subs. One of my like monster goals is just to get that, you know, that plaque, the gold plaque. For me, it's about viewership and my content. So if you guys are like watching it and the views are good, then I'm super happy. I watched a video recently and then it got me thinking about KSI's evolution, and I watched like a throwback video when I first started training KSI. I was like, man, time flies. I wanted just to go over his evolution. I've obviously sparred him 3 times now. And when I sparred him, it was actually, he was in training and already trained for a little bit, right? So there was even a stage before that he was at that I didn't get a chance to see, right? Up close and personal. So I just wanted to take you guys through it, give you guys my thoughts about his evolution, how far he's come. And I think it's gonna be nuts, like when it caps off with the Jake Paul fight, just to see the evolution from the beginning to the end in a very short period of time. I know it's been years, but it's a very short period of time for someone who wasn't in combat sports. All right, here we go. We're taking it back to KSI versus Vidal. I think this is when Vidal was just training Gib, and he just met him. I don't remember if the Joe Weller fight was booked yet. So I'm pretty sure this is just like they're messing around. This is KSI uploaded this, and Gib did as well. Look at him. I think it's like half messing around, but still he hasn't trained before. But once again, I mean, that part of JJ did not stop in terms of the wild punching. Obviously, he's not that bad anymore. But here we go. Now we have that same day, KSI and Gib. This is before we trained together. So look at his hands, footwork. He's leaning away. Look, I think he like kicked him. If we go back for a second, it looks like he threw a kick to get him away. But he's kind of running and jumping. Oh, no, the spin. Going for a takedown. I think the MMA cage threw him off. The right hand spin and duck. It's interesting because you take this. Oh, look. This part I wanted to pause. I have time to pause that perfectly. Here he's jumping. But Gib even had more skill at this point, right? So that just goes to show, you know, the difference. We've seen JJ now. But Gib actually looks a little bit better in terms of boxing. He's been training. But JJ has defensively no idea what he's doing, jumping up and down, got caught with a right hand. So now fast forward, look at him. He's already in better shape. This is the first time he trained. I went down there. This is before Joe Weller. This is the Sidemen house. So lucky he got a chance to go there. But we're doing mitts. And what I tried to do, before we look at this, is I tried not to like get too detailed what I was doing. It may look like I am here, but I'm trying to just work some stuff to add what he's doing, you know, because I know Vidal has, you know, had his focus on what he's doing with him. So I'm trying to add some things, maybe some, you know, counter reactions, some things that he's, you know, defensive, thinking about his footwork, because what I saw at the time, it was just either, which is very normal, it's offense or defense, right? You're defending or you're punching. What I mean by that is that when someone starts punching you, you're just thinking defense. You're not trying to turn your defense into offense or like slipping and loading the hook at the same time. So the defense to offense, the counters flow together. So, but he already looks 10 times better here. Physically, his skill. Working on some feinting here. So using their jab or, you know, the cover to think immediately. And he was hitting hard at this. I was pretty surprised with his power based off. I only saw some film here. He was in really good. I met him before, but here, you know, as his hands are dropping, you know what I mean. But his guard was tight here. He looked pretty sharp here. But again, when you're hitting pads, it's real easy. Oh boy! Now we fast forward. Oh my gosh, I forget the order of this video. So now he's sparring Vidal. So when I went there, not Vidal, Leon. He had not sparred Leon yet, and what they told me is that he hasn't really been pushed yet. He only sparred some like people his level, but he didn't really get pushed. And Vidal wanted him to get pushed and not get beat up, but be challenged and have someone in front of him who can hurt him and have him see how he deals with that adversity. So Leon comes out. You see that power jab, and Leon was a pro Muay Thai fighter. And Leon's just super strong. Shots are heavy. And JJ here, I'm watching. You see me in the back here. I'm watching. And I remember this. JJ, it almost looked like he was questioning the training a little bit. He was a bit like, man, what's going on here? Like, this is a little, I don't want to get beat up. You know, I want to learn. I want to get better. So he was kind of frustrated. And then I get to spar him right after. So this is where you get to, for me, get to see that mentality of, you know, let's find out if he's a fighter. You know, let's find out what he's going to do when he gets hit, bloodied lip, you know. So now this is our first spar. You know, so defensively, he's just a little raw, but his jab was pretty good for like a beginner. You know, this is look at the defense. This is the biggest thing that I'm going to notice from JJ before. Look at it, on his toes. You see him here. He's just kind of just on his toes, punching. He doesn't have like one stance. He's not loading up shots. His head is up. You know, not setting his feet, just kind of winging punches. And he is tired because he just, you know, sparred Leon. But big difference. You see how I'm stalking him and pushing him. Landed a body shot. This is the day where I landed the 2 body shots and I never landed them ever again. Lesson learned. As a matter of fact, he gets me back. But his jab was pretty good. And his footwork, be able to jump in and out, I thought was pretty good. Which, not too surprised to vote. But then again, you see that? Wide stance, leaning his head. Or there, crossing his feet. His feet are super close together. Mine are too, but I still have a kind of a wide base. I still have 1 foot forward, so I can still power with my right. Oh, man, another one. But again, it just, if you go back to it, it was just, you know, look at it, his feet, his hands are up. He's kind of like, oh, I don't know where the shots are coming from. Look at my feet are in position. So look where his hands are. 1 foot's off the ground at this point when I hit him. But this is the part that I liked. He came right back. I remember this being like, whoa, he actually caught me the most right here. I started punching back, but I was surprised. This is when we saw that, like, that dog in him where he's like, he's not going to go down without a fight. Remember this? People remember this fight. You remember the last couple of rounds, but I do remember Joe putting up sort of a fight. I know he didn't seem like he punched a lot because he would just stand there and cover. JJ had a relentless pace. Joe did catch him with a few shots, you know? Like, there's a left hook there. JJ's returning, but again, hands down and just winging. But his distance management was pretty good. Joe's rocked here. But if you look here, like, big point. Regardless of where his skill's at, Joe, right? I feel like Joe would look better probably in sparring and or on the mitts. But JJ looked better fighting than he did in our sparring or any of his pad work training or his other sparrings that we saw. So to me, regardless, when the moment comes, he tends to rise to the occasion. So now, fast forward. Now, this is interesting because I spar him. This is before his camp, I think, just started for Logan, right? I'm actually quite bigger in this one. So he wasn't like full camp and sparring. But if you see here, he has the confidence, a little bit more confidence. And you're going to notice his defense. Well, I spoke too soon there. But get a little bit better. But there's still the footwork there. But if you're going to notice against the cage, his hand, his guard, he's here. He started using his shoulder roll. Like that little stuff there, seeing and looking is a big improvement. Whereas before he was just covering and ducking and shooting his head away. But I remember that day, it didn't like seem like he wasn't in camp like ready to fight. It was before, like I think a couple days before it started. Oh, again, I'm teeing off shots, but he's still gonna come back. That was a hard uppercut. I remember that landed. But there's Vidal pushing him. But he's in it, he's not just turning, looking away. His footwork isn't great, but he's still, look at, he's covering. He's taking a shot, not just running. Oh, man, there again, but you still see his defense is just not great, or his hook, his elbow is still down. All right, so now fast forward. That's over. Now he spars JMX. So this is a little bit after. Now he's in camp, right? Because he had sparred JMX. I think that was the first spar. So this is interesting because now you're going to see how he does against a longer fighter. Look, he steps right in. A good cross. His head is still up, though. That's the biggest thing I noticed with him. He had this tendency to fight only on the outside and with his head shooting back. And his hands are down. And I know he's confident, but this is still like he has the right idea. He's trying to lean away and then find the uppercut, but his distance is still off. He's still trying to figure this out. He doesn't really have that skill yet. I can't stand the socks. I know, but it might improve your footwork, but it's still slippery. But look at him there. A lot better. This is Still a little raw, but you're talking 10 times better than before. Not just leaning away and throwing his head back. Now we go to the first couple rounds of Logan versus KSI 1. Boom. He started doing what he was doing. You know, body cross, land the body jabs. But if you notice, he's punching and trying to stay on the outside. Punch and stay on the outside. It's going to be hard against someone like Logan. Boom. Lands a right hand. Again, lean his hands down. His feet look a lot better, though. That little bounce, that looks even better than when he was sparring me. And this is, fight day. Reaching and swinging that right hand. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. That was a beautiful right hand. When he decided to stand and trade, he did a lot better. And JJ is surprisingly very strong. And Logan is a big dude. Oh, look at that right hand. Jeez, Logan ate that. So he just has this, he doesn't care. He has that, so that's why JJ can tighten it up. Oh boy, he's going to be super dangerous because he landed a lot of rights here. So now we fast forward. We know what happened there. It was a drop. Now this is the KSI that we start to see now. This is him sparring, doing some techno spar with Vidal. JJ already looks 10 times more jacked. His guard is a little bit better here. Look at him land a little flurry here. Already. That type of stuff, keeping it tight, short combos because he has power, so he can defend and do both. He can slip and counter punch more quickly. Look at this. Try to hold up. Let's remember we're at 651, right? Talking a couple year span. So we see him there, right? Boom. Vidal. Let's rewind real quick. Oh boy, look at him against Gibb. Just a few years prior. Just everywhere. Chin down, which means he can still get hit, but having your chin down, knowing that you're going to try to shell the shots, and he's looking for his opportunity. He's looking to defend and find his opportunity. Now, this is a spar with, I believe it's Munson. He was there when I sparred him, but he's a pro boxer, and he's elite. I think I'm pretty sure he's undefeated. This is his clip from his video. You can see him reacting to it. But this is the day that JJ gets smacked by Vidal. Even though JJ he's trying to work the thing, but look at his defense. It's calm. That was a nasty body shot. This really impressed me. Because you take it back from when I landed that body shot. Look how it's comfortable. Like, that was just very natural, right? Now it's starting to develop into the instinct. His feet aren't in a great position, but he's fine there. If it was a little bit better, then he can counterpunch. But we're talking, the shot comes and he doesn't panic. He just covers and dips his elbow, catches it, and then he jabs, counters. His elbow's in tight. I'm pointing like you can see. Elbow's in tight. Boom. And he throws a power shot, and JJ just barely catches it with his elbow in his forearm. We're talking, watch that again. Watch one more time. It may seem small, but it's a big deal. Boom. That's like a soft one. Then he rips it. Bam. If he lands that, it's over. Smack. Right? So we're talking, he's using the cross shell. He gets caught with an uppercut there, but doesn't panic. Does a nice right hook. Boom, boom. Look a lot better. This, he lands, the KO or the knockdown against the amateur. Look at a big difference here. The biggest difference for me is that he might have done this before in sparring, but it was probably like that one big wild right hand from like far distance, and he was in and out. This one you can clearly see that he was standing toe-to-toe with a guy and then landed a solid combination. Nice little weird right hand, but it landed. All right, now look at him, head fainting, his head's moving, his hands are moving with his feet in unison. He's got a better base here. Not looking for his opportunity, not afraid of closing the space, of getting in the pocket, looking for his opportunity to throw punches, keeping his chin down, stalking, closing off the ring. Look at this. Takes a jab, but doesn't shoot his head back or panic with his feet, feinting, sliding in and out in his footwork. That was a nice little combination. Right back with me. Boom. Big combination. But look at this. Boom. Before we get to the end of this, look at the difference. Look at running backwards, right? I mean, I wasn't running backwards like that, but in terms of the big picture, this is completely reversed, right? And you see me, I've gotten better over the last couple of years, but I feel like what's impressed me the most is that I haven't improved at the same, rate or the same percentage that you've seen like JJ improve. Any of you out there, you can, if you don't know, you're not sure you can do something, play a sport, or get out there and compete in something, whether it's at an amateur level or whatever, this should be inspiration to you right here. Oh man, right hand. Killer instinct. No mercy. I believe the highlights are next of the actual fight. Boom. Still a little wild, but here's the thing. Logan's better here, right? Logan's better than he was before in the first fight, for sure. But look, JJ, he got, I want to go back to this. I think I had this in the clip. But he gets hit. And that's the thing that I'm excited to see with Jake. Jake has been hitting people and they have been folding. He gets hit with a solid jab. Logan's really out of position. So I said, JJ, if you just stay in tight, it's game over. And JJ just comes right back at it. But whereas before in the first fight, you saw him, in the beginning, kind of stay on the outside. Oh, man. He just went for it. But clearly the pressure worked. Look at defense. He's waiting for Logan to punch. And that's something Logan was ready for. He was waiting for Logan to punch so that JJ can just try to capitalize and catch him. Pushing him back. Oh, and this is ridiculous. He took a really big shot. Where's that uppercut? Oh, let's go back to it. Let's go back to that uppercut. He takes a giant uppercut. I've been knocked down. My last kickboxing fight, I got a flash knockdown, a hook right by, on the temple of the ear. I've never been knocked down before, and that made it rough for me. I ended up getting dropped in the third round. But that is very difficult to come back from. I don't even know what I got hit with. But we're talking in the middle. It's round number 4. He gets caught, dropped, hit a couple times. And then round 6, look at him. He's right back. Logan still looks fresh. He doesn't look so gassed. But JJ's right back at him. Here we go, last few seconds. Oh, that right hand just missed. Still a little wild, obviously. But yeah, still a little wild, obviously. But I think you're talking pro gloves, right? It was another thing. I think whenever you train, right, you're going to be like, 20% or whatever, 30% of what you look like at your best in the gym, right? And me and JJ were sparring because we have headgear on. We're sparring. He knows he's been training. He's in the confidence of his own gym, right? He has his coaches there, all that stuff, right? Where you get here, the moment, Logan and, the crowd. Really looking forward to seeing the JJ that we see versus Jake. Because I do think that if he's too open and wild, that Jake will take advantage of it in ways that Logan didn't. Clearly, JJ can take a jab. And I think already, it's not that much though. It may seem like more, but to me still, because of Logan's height and reach advantage, the sense of overextending tends to happen because of that. And with Jake and JJ being on the same side, I think you're going to see something more similar to what you saw with him spar with me. To be honest, not just JJ. Jake, his transformation in terms of boxing, super inspiring because Deji took him 5 rounds and he was obviously new and he performed that stage. So his transformation is nuts. Even Logan, I'm really interested to see this evolution of where it turns in like a year. Oh no, I'm getting a cramp. Oh, my leg. Cut the video. Jasper, oos, it's over. Leave a like and subscribe. See? Ah, man, oos. I'm done.